Hey Ratbags, it's Jade today giving you the guide on how to get the Mantis armor and its buffs and bonuses. Yes, it's another rogue set, but is it any better or different from the others we've already got? The Hairy and Scary update is in testing right now, but the full update goes live for everyone on the 30th. If you want to know how to play this update right now though, I've got a video showing you how in the comment section down below. If you find this video useful, do leave a like, it does help the channel actually get more views, and let's go. So the praying mantis armor itself, you're going to obviously need lots of mantis parts and especially a praying mantis head for the mask. There's been some criticism, it doesn't look enough like a mantis, but I think this actual set really is looking cool. Sure, maybe it can be based on another creature like a stink bug, and you can see actually it does require 2 stink bug gas sacks to craft it, plus 3 crow feathers. Like all rogue armor, it's not got the best stats for defense or resistance, but it does have added bonuses of course, with gas guard being completely immune to any gas damage. For the vest, you're going to need 1 praying mantis claw, 5 praying mantis chunks, and another 4 crow feathers. Obviously the defense and resistance goes a bit up for the chest piece like most of the other armors, but interestingly it doesn't have gas guard as its individual bonus with this one. Instead it's got critical haste. It's actually on the chest as well as the greaves, the legs. It gives critical hits a 50% chance to increase the player's attack speed by 20% for 5 seconds. Its set bonus, when you wear all 3, gives critical recovery, causing critical hits to provide a healing time effect that heals 0.3 every 0.125 seconds for 5 seconds for a total of 12 health. In English, it's going to help you hit faster and it should help you heal a bit quicker too. The critical haste though does only occur when you've done a 3-hit combo. And of course for the greaves you are going to need 1 mantis claw, 4 mantis chunks and 5 silk rope. So if you're really not a big fan of just having gas guard as an extra bonus, you could absolutely swap the helmet for any other rogue build, especially one that does critical, and you'll be absolutely smashing things with that critical bonus on the chest, greaves and whatever else you're adding for the helmet. I think devs have done a really good job on making something that might seem a bit useless since you've got gas mask, but it's also kind of like the upgrade of gas mask. And you can use the other parts really well for other builds if you really don't want to use it just for gas. So your best weapon for this set is going to be obviously something fast, dual wielding blades or maybe a spear. I don't think the healing is really something to write home about, but then again, if you're intent on just getting in and doing as much damage as possible while quickly taking smoothies, it's got to help keep that extra bit of health, especially against bosses like Axel. So you got to find the mantises. There are 4 known locations. There is sometimes an additional spawn, but some of the mantises won't respawn once you kill them for the first time, like the one in the northern part of the Rose Gardens. And obviously just use your scanner to locate them yourself. I'm sure by now a lot of you have killed it since you're trying to get a tier 3 mantis set. It's obviously weak against fresh and slashing and resistant against spicy, smashing and I do believe stabbing. But weirdly its eyes are weak to stabbing, so if you're going to use a spear, aim for the eyes. Or obviously a range build might be better. Do have some powerful attacks. I'll recommend absolutely Parry Master if you're using melee weapons. And whatever mutation is going to help out with whatever build you've got going on, rogue, magic or ranger. It is weak to fresh, but I would say mage is probably the worst thing to use. You can't really do any powerful shots if it's up high above, so you're not going to miss out on that ambush attack. And you probably need to make sure you're pretty agile, moving and dodging around, take it on using this kind of gear. Also, because the trinkets that can help with this build, predominantly using lots of fresh damage, don't actually apply to ranged or mage gear, it's pretty useless having something like the butterfly trinket, which helps freeze enemies, or the mint chunk, which does flat damage. So yeah, it's doable for sure, but I would say it's probably the worst kind of way to take him on with fresh builds. There's just no extra way of getting a good amount of ice damage. But you can see relatively enough it's pretty weak against it. Make sure you do use obviously ice arrows if you are going for a ranger build. And yeah, you really want to try aiming particularly for the eyes. Obviously Nifty Needle is going to be your friend in terms of trinkets and whatever ranger gear you've got. I know I'm not using it here, but yeah, I was kind of intent on showing off a lot of the mantis. But if you've got the B leggings and chest piece and then go ahead and use the marksman's cap, that's always going to be good. And if you're cheesing him, yeah, with the ice arrows, it won't really matter what armor you're using. You'll be doing a good amount of damage. Just sit there as long as you've got enough arrows. Of course, we have got the brand new Axle armor, but I reckon it's probably easier to get the Mantis armor if you beforehand anyway. But that of course is another option if you have done that already. So yeah, not too bad, a good few shots and it's dead. So let's go ahead and try Rogue armor with the icicles, which are probably going to be the best. Absolutely shred the Mantis in seconds with the right kind of gear. Failing that, any kind of critical build I think is pretty decent. Whether or not you've got the All Weaver armor, or yeah, absolutely go with Venom, as it technically I don't think is resistant against it. So Wolf armor could be good, and even a fighter build with the right slashing weapon. But Rogue and Icicles are your best bet. So fired off a ice arrow shot, switch to the icicles, get its attention obviously, and then go in for it with the butterfly trinket. I've also got Frenzy equipped here, so I don't really care about taking any hits. I've got a tier 3 armor, so I can withstand it a little bit more, even though it's rogue, and look how much I shredded it. Frenzy giving you a little bit of health and obviously giving you more hits. This time no Frenzy mutation, instead I switched over to the Ice Mint trinket. And it honestly did it even faster, especially obviously as I was parrying, and that meant it was getting maybe a bit stunned or potentially frozen more. And there you go, that's the guide pretty much to getting the Mantis armor. If you still haven't picked up the icicles, check out the video, I'll leave in the comments down below on how to get them. Let me know what you think about obviously the armor set. I do think it's going to be great. Having that upgrade for the gas mask is cool, and just having a full armor set for it now is really interesting. I'm not so keen on the critical healing, I don't think it does it enough or enough to actually be super effective. But the speed up in attacks that you get from the other pieces of armour, you can really mix and match with any other kind of helmet that's going to suit a rogue or fast moving build. So until next time, Ratbags, I'll catch you later.